Ah, je le savais. Ah, je me rappelle, il y a Scaramouche. Oh putain. Bon. Trio. Ah ouais, ça vaut le coup de l'essayer, Raiden. Mais ouais, j'ai pas gavé up parce que il y a ça qui est pas très up. On tente. J'ai envie un peu de tester Raiden pour voir. Mais là, je crois qu'il y a Scaramouche qu'on va le voir. Normalement. Oh.
Gather! One with nature. Clouds high. The birds come. This is order. The wind knows me.
Faut pas que j'oublie de prendre ça. Parce que j'en aurais besoin.
So, is this what delusions are made from? So much crystal metal. Now where have we seen that? Wait a second. Are they getting this from retail? So the Conjure Commission are...
One with wind and cloud. Torn to oblivion.
Systems shine.
Oh, je suis énervé, alors là je déchaîne là. C'est bon là. Ils ont failli tuer mon pote TP là, maintenant je vais tous les buter.
Yikes! It looks dangerous. We'd better watch our step or we might get hit.
C'est où ma prochaine cible là, que je joue? Monte. J'ai pas le temps à perdre. Je suis prêt.
Intruder spotted! Do not let them impede the work of the Harbingers. You'll never get out of here alive! I see it from you!
Let's light it up!
You can't run! It's the first time!
There is no escape. The wind knows me.
Looks like I finished went too far.
Teamwork is
End this
dreamwork!
quickly!
Shine down.
Stabilize. This is order.
Into the wind.
Out of the way!
Now this idiot must have a death wish! Don't be intimidated! Lord Harbinger will be here soon!
Clouds high. The birds.
Everybody stand back!
Order guide you. Solidify.
Illusion shattered. Now you shall perish. There is no escape.
Out of my sight! This is Her Majesty's
One with
gift.
nature. Illusion shattered. Inazuma shines eternal.
This body belongs to ice and snow.
You actually managed to find this place. Congratulations.
So, you're another Fatui Harbinger? Like Senora and Child?
Senora and Child. I didn't know you and my two least reliable colleagues were acquainted. I'm the Balladeer. Number 6 of the Fatui Harbingers. Delighted to meet you, oh mighty traveler.
Scaramouche.
So many visitors today. To what do I owe the honor? Oh, so that's what this is about. I think you've got the wrong idea. I know how this looks, but I'm just here to follow orders. I'm obviously not the mastermind behind this. Aren't you supposed to be pretty tough? What are you waiting for? Go get them. You're getting all worked up over nothing. Didn't have you down as being so weak.
How can you say this is nothing?
How can you call it anything more? It's the way of the world. Human life is worthless. They were always going to die, with or without a delusion. At least having one gives them a chance to fulfill their ambitions. Do you have any idea how useful the Vision Hunt decree is to us? It took a lot of work to make it happen. Obviously, it was in our best interests. Good news is, our hard work is finally paying off. Generating conflict creates a big market for delusions. Now we just let the promise of power draw in the weak. For just a small price, they get the feeling of controlling the world. Trading their life for supreme power. Pretty good deal, don't you think?
So, the Fatui started the Vision Hunt decree? You've been behind it all along?
From the outside, Inazuma looks pretty impenetrable. But on the inside, it's a land of opportunity. With a little effort, we were able to break them down from within. Eternity stretches things out over a long time, but each moment within it becomes all the more fragile. Take your friend in the Resistance, for example. There's nothing you can do now. He's a lost cause. Just like a bubble on the water. Beautiful for a moment, then total destruction. The more it takes from them, the more tightly they hold on to it. And the more incompetent they are, the more determined they are to fight it. It's such a farce. You have to see the funny side.
Hey, calm down!
On va l'affronter.
No!
What the fuck?
That's it. Just like that. Embrace the anger. Embrace it! The wrath of the gods fills this factory, and it feeds on your anger.
What's happening? Get up!
Yae? Attends. On l'a tous bien vu Yae là? Les gars, on a tous bien vu Yae? Qu'est-ce qui se passe? Qu'est-ce qui se passe?
Repeat after me. 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3. Come on. Okay, that's positive. Your brain seems relatively...
Qu'est-ce que je fais à la tête à l'envers moi? C'était pas comme ça quand on a vu les trois gars.
It's just as well, really, with the amount of effort it took me to get you back here. Honestly, it was like you were glued to the ground back there.
Nico? Hyman's been wanting to ask you about something. How come you're acting so differently from when we first met you?
Am I? Maybe it's because I had the other Shrine Maidens leave. Anyway, I've always been like this. People show you whatever side of themselves they want you to see. I know this for a fact. Every side of me is the real me. People just like to define things in all sorts of arbitrary ways. This is a human society. At the moment, anyway. And I'm just doing as I please.
Paimon didn't quite follow.
Study humans a while longer, my little friend. You'll see what I mean.
Ah ouais, ça ouais, je demandais.
Right! Paimon was so focused on the Traveler that Paimon didn't notice what you did to get Scaramouche off our backs.
What if I told you it was a secret art from the Grand Narukami Shrine, and that I had the balladeer down on his knees, begging for mercy in an instant? Would... Well, maybe you should be worrying less about that, and more about how exactly you're going to thank me, no? Maybe some of your neural circuitry is less intact than I thought. I didn't mean you had to be so formal about it. I need your actions, not your words. The delusions. They're still on your mind, aren't they? You needn't worry. The leader of Watatsumi Island took some troops to clear the place out.
Ah,
She's also issued a strict ban on the use of delusions across the whole army. With their stronghold exposed, I doubt the balladeer is stubborn enough to try and retaliate now on his colleagues' behalf. It would be more trouble than it's worth. I must say, I would relish the opportunity to watch the Fatui getting a taste of their own medicine. Well, anyway, that Sungonamiya Kokomi, she really outdid herself this time. I'd love to have another chat with her again in person, but alas, belief systems can be such a hindrance sometimes.
A hindrance? Should you really be saying that as the Gucci of the Grand Shrine?
Anyway, I'm only telling you this to stop you worrying so that you can focus on something I need you to do for me.
de quoi as-tu besoin? Alors, pour ceux qui se rappellent pas, mais quand on avait sauvé une des personnes là, qui était un peu devenue fou, qui a perdu son auditiva, elle a parlé à un ami. Et il y a eu beaucoup de théories comme quoi ça serait Bal. Bon, de toute façon, on l'a vu dans le trailer qu'elle est avec nous, donc pour moi, c'est ça. Hein.
You've met her, right?
Voilà.
I'm not talking about the puppet. I mean her. You've met her, yes? Yes, the true Raiden Shogun, who meditates endlessly in the plane of Euthymia to preserve her being. Her name is A.
Are you saying that the one we met at the ceremony was just a puppet? And the real Raiden Shogun is the one that the Traveler met later? And does that mean that when the battlefield changed, so did the opponent?
Because this is the Raiden Shogun's eternity. Before pursuing the eternity of her nation, she had to reach eternity for herself. Since the physical body will eventually turn to dust, she replaced hers with that of a puppet. And since the spirit is susceptible to erosion, she placed her consciousness inside her sword, where she remains in a meditative state, free from all disturbances.
So, that place that she carved open with her sword...
The plane of Euthymia. Essentially, the world inside her mind. A place that typically only allows her existence. She shuts herself off in her inner world, leaving all the affairs of the outside world to be dealt with by a puppet, who has a singular focus on the pursuit of eternity. This is the approach A has come up with for realizing eternity. You mean Morax? It's been a while since I last saw him. A surprising decision by Liyue's Archon. What a fascinating god he is.
It seems like the Raiden Shogun's approach solves the problem Zhongli was facing, though.
Perhaps. Or you could take the view that she's acting like a little child, throwing a temper tantrum and locking herself in her room. Don't you think?
Bah, en vrai, c'est vrai, parce que pour ceux qui ont vu le trailer, elle a perdu ses proches. Et il y a eu, vous voyez, quand on l'a vu à deux, À la fin, quand il a perdu tous ses potes, là, on l'a vu à deux, elle assis avec sa tenue qu'on la connaît, et une autre qui porte une parapluie. Et ça veut dire qu'en fait, celle qui médite, ah ouais, c'est un peu dur à comprendre en fait, parce que là, bon, même moi, j'arrive même pas à comprendre. En fait, elles sont à deux, un qui comprend, qui est l'esprit, et l'autre c'est une sorte d'âme, et l'autre c'est le corps, quoi. Ah ouais, c'est assez incroyable ça à comprendre.
The eternity she once held has long since given way to the eternity of her own definition. And ultimately, her eternity is defined by fear. The fear of
Ouais,
loss.
la peur de la perte, voilà. Ça se voit, ça se comprend, hein. Parce que ceux qui ont vu le trailer, vous comprenez de quoi elle parle.
The truth is, we are on the same side. You want to save the people of Inazuma from the Vision Hunt decree. So do I. The only difference is that I'd rather like to save this nation and save A while we're at it. The key is that the plane of Euthymia represents A's inner world. Defeat her there, and you may well have the chance to shake the Raiden Shogun's will.
So this is your plan? To abolish the Vision Hunt decree? Not by talking her out of it, or through an armed resistance, but by, hopping inside the Raiden Shogun's inner world?
You're a fast learner. In short, this is the last chance to get Inazuma back on track. Otherwise, an eternity of darkness awaits. Don't you realize how special you are? Remember, the plane of Euthymia is a space where only she is allowed to exist. The fact that you could appear there tells us one crucial thing. That you have piqued her interest. Perhaps it's because she has never seen an individual who is so unpredictable in the face of eternity.
Has no one else ever been in there?
None. No one has seen the devotee of eternity since she shut herself away. In fact, no one even knows what it looks like in there. Your existence is more than just an opportunity. It's the very key to all of this. To that I say, well done, child. You did not disappoint me after all.
Wait, you're leaving? Where are you going?
Anti-Raiden Shogun training. I've prepared a special program just for you. Come along.
Bon, vu qu'on va apprendre à affronter Raiden Shogun, je prends pas le risque de jouer elle-même, hein. Parce que bon, voilà quoi. Dernière fois j'ai eu un peu ma dose. Même si je sais que uniquement il y a que des persos électro qui marchent uniquement là. Mais comment dire, je prends pas le risque de y aller en électro quoi. Comment dire, vous savez que ça va pas trop. Hein. C'est créer des courts-circuits. Ouais, je sais, c'est une blague de merde, mais voilà, je fais avec ce que j'ai, ok?
Quake!
Oh là là. Un entraînement spécial, on va voir ça.
Time to go.
Bon, lui, il faut vous dire que ça va, le Raiden Shogun n'est pas si mal que ça, grâce à son compétence élémentaire, attaque élémentaire, que je trouve que c'est pas mal qu'il crée des électrons. Plus Bennett, là, ça fait des gros dégâts.
And what's this mechanism for?
Think of it as a catalyst that can reproduce the Raiden Shogun's combat moves. I made it from my own memory, which means it should be perfectly accurate. Unless, of course, her skills have declined. It'll give you a chance to figure out her moves in advance and come up with a counter strategy. That should be a big help, don't you think? The aim is to try to not get hit by the attacks. Since you've escaped certain death at her hand once already, I presume this shouldn't be more than you can handle.
Faut pas se faire toucher, ah ouais, c'est un gros challenge ça.
Fine.
What the? Mais... Attends. Mais comment je fais pour esquiver?
Into the wind.
Je vais crever moi.
Going in!
It's fine.
Ouah, le défi il est chaud.
Solidify.
Oh, elle m'a touché.
Gather.
Ouais, alors, je peux tenir. Putain, c'est un putain d'entraînement. Wow. Alors ça, cette attaque est imprévisible quoi. Ah, c'était chaud quand même. Oh.
What a workout!
C'était plutôt difficile, ouais.
Not so much about the Raiden Shogun.
You mean me? Perhaps it's because I'm the Electro Archon's servant.
What? Like Devalin is to Barbados? Huh. Never would have guessed by looking at you.
It
Ah
sounds
ouais?
like you'd be more persuaded if you saw me in my fox form.
Donc, yeah. Ah ouais. Donc c'est yeah.
In your dreams.
Aw.
More curious than my appearance is the fact that she and I don't see each other anymore, wouldn't you say? A nation to last for all eternity is a dream that she and I both share. But I don't think that's the same thing as complete stasis. At some point, she started going down a path that became increasingly difficult for me to join her on. You know, A never said goodbye to me before she stepped into the plane of Euthymia. Perhaps it's just my wishful thinking, but I think she did this deliberately, as her way of keeping our friendship eternal. By neither saying goodbye nor seeing me again, our relationship will remain forever how it was. In her mind, at least. Since we've embarked on two very different paths to eternity, I can either continue to maintain the status quo or do whatever it takes to bring her back on track, regardless of the cost. I have chosen the latter because if stubbornly isolating herself in the plane of Euthymia is her idea of eternity, then my duty as her eternal servant is to drag her back out of her own head and into the real world.
Aw, Miko. You sound like a really great friend.
I'm only telling you this so you can properly understand my plan. Could you possibly spare the sentimentality for the time being? Anyway, that's enough chit-chat. Time for Anti-Raiden Shogun Training Phase 2.
There's a part 2?
Quoi? Phase 2. Comment ça, phase 2? Attends. Je prends de la bouffe d'abord. Je sais pas, je me suis fait défoncer la gueule là. Et tu me dis qu'il y a une phase 2.
Solidify.
Let's light it up! Whirling snow! Get out of here!
The wind knows me.
I will have order.
Teamwork is dreamwork! My opponent!
Into the wind.
As one with wind and cloud.
Merde. Bon, ça là, t'es plus facile.
We're finally done! How did we do?
You did quite admirably. I could see your determination and your hard work.
So, do you think we're ready to beat the Raiden Shogun now?
How do I put this? You're no match for her at all.
Wait, what? So all of this was a complete waste of time?
You are the most important part of the plan. I know what I'm doing. You don't think I'd leave you with no chance to win at all, do you? Speaking of, Traveler, what do you think of the Resistance Army's chances? You're absolutely right. Perhaps they occasionally best the Shogun's army in open battle, but when they face the Raiden Shogun herself, considering even their visions have been taken from them and embedded in the statue, they're ultimately quite helpless.
You don't have to be so blunt. The Traveler's the captain of Swordfish too, you know.
I don't mean to belittle them. On the contrary. It is precisely because of their helplessness, because their visions have been taken from them, that their will is all the more precious. In short, if everything goes according to plan, they may yet prove to be helpful. Oh, goodness, is that the time? I have another guest to receive today. We can talk more back at the Grand Narukami Shrine.
All of a sudden, you're entertaining guests? Hyman's really struggling to understand how you work.
Bon, j'ai pas vu le temps passer, mais ça a duré au moins 48 minutes. Donc, je vous dis à très bientôt. Allez, ciao les amis.